olivat suksillaan Laskimäessään, niin Jänö Jussi pensastaan katsoi ihmeissään. Ja niin hän nauroi itsekseen, kun joku lensi pyrstölleen, niin huoleton tuo leikki on ja aivan verraton.
Hello, and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Ida. You might remember me from Scandinavia House sing-alongs, but today we are doing something completely different because today is a traditional Finnish holiday called Laskiainen, which means that on this day you go sledding in the snow with your family and friends, or ice skating or skiing, but sledding is the official one. And then you come home and you eat Laskiaispulla, which is a sweet roll filled with whipped cream and strawberry jam. So that's what we're gonna make today. So I already did some preparations for this baking extravaganza that we're about to do. I'm doing a small dough, a small batch, but you can easily double it if you so please, and if you want to eat a lot of these sweet rolls. And I would recommend that because they're amazing.
Kyllä näyttäisin mäkeä kuin lasketaan ja kaikki voittaisin. Vaik hyppyri tuo katala on mulle liian matala, niin pilviin mä hyppäisin ja heille näyttäisin.
First of all, I did 1 cup of milk that we are going to put in the microwave. You need to heat it up to about 107 degrees Fahrenheit. So it should feel very warm to your hand when you take it out. So let's get that in the microwave. There we go. While that's waiting, I mixed together just under half a cup of sugar, half tablespoon of cardamom ground, and a half teaspoon of salt. I mixed those 3 together that we will add to the milk once it's ready. Maybe a little more. Now we got the milk warmed up. We're taking our big bowl and our whisk, and we will pour the just over a cup. 1.05 is the exact amount, which is 2.5 deciliters for all my Europeans who understand those measures. So we put that in, then we do the sugar, cardamom, and salt. So it was 1 deciliter sugar, half a tablespoon cardamom, and half a teaspoon salt. The sugar is also 0.4 cups, if that is easier for you. And then we whisk. And the important thing is that the milk is warm enough, because later we're gonna use some dry yeast. And now we're whisking.
Orava tuo oksaltaan, hän silloin haastoi näin. Sä pullistelet varmaan vaan, Jussi ystäväi.
All right. Once that is done, I'm gonna take my egg, because we only need half an egg. I'll break it in a bowl. Properly break it. You can use a fork. There we go. All right, so now we got our milk, our half an egg, and the sugar, cardamom, and salt in the bowl. Now we're gonna start adding the flour, and I've already mixed 1.5 bags of dry yeast into the flour, and this is 2 cups of flour. We're gonna need more, but I recommend using a little bit at first, adding the yeast to it, and then we'll keep adding flour, because we don't wanna make it too dry all at once. So I'll add a little bit. Then we're gonna do some whisking. Another traditional thing to eat on Laskiainen is split pea soup for some reason. So it's very traditional. I remember back when I was in school in Finland, we would have for lunch split pea soup at school, and then you'd get a sweet roll for dessert. And some people like to add almond paste instead of the jam. So usually the options are strawberry jam or raspberry jam or almond paste and then whipped cream. But I prefer the jam, so that's what we're gonna do today. But you can choose whatever you wanna do. All right, let's keep adding. All right, so now we have 2 cups of flour in with the yeast. And pretty soon, we're gonna have to start using our hand for this. Take some elbow grease to get this dough done. But we are gonna use more flour. Let's start with half a cup. And you gotta kind of keep an eye on it. See, because you don't want it too dry. You'd rather underdo it than overdo it in the beginning. But the point is to get the dough solid enough. So my whisk just broke. That's okay. We'll put it back in. So as you can see, the dough is now becoming, it's getting loose from the edges, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. So we are gonna cover this up with a towel and let it rise for about 40 minutes. And then we'll be back.
Kun pikkupojat suksillaan Laskimäessään.
Some flour on the table, on the countertop, so the dough doesn't get stuck on it. And then we're just, you gotta be gentle with it. We roll it. Then you can use a rolling pin to get the air out, which is what I prefer to do.
Ja vedon lyön, jos teet sen työn, niin häntäni mä syön. Jos Jussi vaikka yllättäis, se piste pienen siitä. Ja jotta kiistat selviäis, sukset hankittiin. Ja kohta näin huipulta, Jussi huutaa hurjana. Pois alta vaan nyt lasketaan, en pelkää ollenkaan.
And you can make big rolls or little rolls. I prefer rolls that aren't too big, but the important thing is to keep them the same size compared to each other, so they bake evenly in the oven. Now I have a tiny baking sheet, so we will do 8 for now. And then this is the technique that my mom taught me how to make it. Sweet rolls have been sweetly rolled and put on a baking sheet with some parchment paper so it doesn't stick. And now we're gonna let them rest for a little longer. I'd say 10 minutes. I'm gonna turn on the oven and put it to 420 degrees while these guys take a little nap. The oven is warming up. In the meantime, I have some egg here that I will brush onto the sweet rolls, and then I'll top it off with some sugar to give it a nice little glow. In Finland, I would use these kind of, I think they're like sugar pearls, but I couldn't find them here in New York. So we're gonna go with regular sugar, which also will work just fine. All right, the oven is ready, and so are these guys. I'm doing 6 at a time because the baking sheet is small, and the oven is at 420 degrees. And you wanna put them right in the middle for about 15 to 20 minutes. But we'll start with 15 because ovens are different and some are faster than others. My oven is beeping. Let's see if the rolls are ready. They're looking pretty delicious. Here we go. I'm gonna let these cool off and then we'll do the best part, which is the decorating. And I'm sure that's the part that some of the kids would wanna join in on. All right, our rolls are ready. Now it's time to decorate. And this is probably the part where the younger audience members also want to participate. So what you want to do is you want to cut your roll in half. There we go. Take the hat off. Like that. Then time for jam. Now, like I said, you can also use almond paste, strawberry jam. You could try all kinds of different jams, but raspberry is my absolute favorite. So that's what I decided to go with. Now you got your jam, you put your whipped cream on, then you put the hat back. And there you go. A Finnish Laskiaispulla. All right, the sweet rolls are done with the jam and the whipped cream. And now, time for my favorite part, which is eating. Thank you for baking with me, and I'll see you soon. And of course, hyvää laskiaista. So good. Bye bye.